Hi everyone, how's it going? My name is Garrett Klein. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my presentation today. These last few modules on different forms of nonverbal and verbal communication I found quite interesting, and a few specific topics would be the facial feedback hypothesis, immediacy, as well as abstraction. For today, however, I'll be focusing on the idea of civil inattention because I think I utilize that the most in my everyday life. The article that I'll be discussing was written by well-respected professor and researcher Nikki Lisa Cole. She has covered all sorts of topics in her career ranging from race, class, gender, consumer behavior, and much more. The article begins with discussing how civil inattention has really become a normality in our everyday lives and how people that don't interact with individuals in public on a daily basis, they can find this a little odd. People from smaller towns who aren't taking the trains or subways or aren't involved in these more public areas. But the fact of the matter is civil inattention has become a normality, and some of the general motivation behind keeping to yourself and going about your day is that it has become a way of just being polite, and that politeness and the normality of things go hand in hand. But an idea that I can bring up with this where civil inattention would not be utilized would be in a situation where we've all met the stranger, whether that be on, like I just mentioned, a train or some public area that just wants to talk your ear off. They'll tell you their life story. They'll tell you anything and everything that they could think of to you who they just met, and while it's nice as someone to be receptive and to listen, there's only so many shallow responses such as sure or I see and things that just keep the conversation going before we just get, over it. We get aggravated. We want to move on. And civil inattention is a way to avoid these completely, and people that practice civil inattention keep to themselves more, and they feel no need to have discussions like this with people that they just don't know. In the article, Cole mentions Erving Goffman, who developed the idea of civil inattention in 1963. And according to Goffman, civil inattention is achieved when there is a mutual recognition between people that they pose no threat to one another. And so when this has to do with after an initial, nonverbal greeting, a small nod or soft smile, something of that nod, it's the action of moving on with no further interaction, and by practicing this, individuals will then affirm each other that they believe their current demeanor is acceptable. You're not going to confront someone for doing something wrong when you don't have an issue with them, listening to their music or being on their phone. And that's the idea of civil inattention, the going about of people's days and remaining safe and secure. And when you keep to yourself and when others keep to themselves, there is no threat, there is no idea of danger or anything along those lines. Now, to begin to wrap up, that is not to say that, there are zero situations where civil inattention, where the intervening wouldn't be necessary. There are some where if you notice someone to be in danger or something not right, then civil inattention wouldn't apply, but civil inattention as a whole is just a normality that is starting to be used more than we even realize. The just walking by strangers with a little eye contact, small nod, and it just provides a sense of security and general respect to others, and it's a sound way to go about our days as individuals. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you listening.